And apparently France was getting their money from the king. The banks in France, they were getting their money from the king, who was funding that side of the war. And then the other side of the war being financed from the banks over in England. And part of the terms and conditions of Britain standing down was that America would stay like a colony or something. In fact, that the king, if you go back to King John, handed over to the Vatican all of his property, which I believe now includes America. So the Vatican, in fact, is the possessor of America, and then the Queen is like the manager. She's like in charge.
That's right. That's right.
Owning it. But many Americans do not understand that we are like a colony now of these European.
So Australia.
And if those institutions,
well, that goes back to it was the 15th of May 1213 that happened when John swore fealty and was agreed to pay 1,000 marks to Rome forever. That was an act of treason because the Western nations is, in fact, Israel. The Jews say they're Israel. They're not Israel. It's got nothing to do with the Jews in Palestine. The true Judah is actually England, Ireland, and Scotland. That's where the true royal line comes from. It's got nothing to do with the Jews. It's all lies.
RJ, I hope that you have him back again when he brings when he brings his friend on and discusses this, because if this CFTC discussion and the manipulation of the markets at the elemental commodity level is
Bill, you know this, that much of what is happening in America is our distraction. We are being kept distracted on a regular basis, and we do not understand our own history. We do not understand the truth of the matter. What we do get is what they want us to know. And so people then are assuming that Americans are stupid. People are calling us sheeple, when in fact what's happening is lies, just like this Undertaker. This is what these Satanists do. They lie and they steal and they kill. But that's changing. Talk radio, just like this program, Bill, and you know this, we are making the difference. Americans are waking up. And I think, Brian, that we're coming to a point where we're not going to take this anymore. We are so fed up.
No, that's right. My people at the moment is sending out 9 million emails a day.
Wow. Good for you. Wonderful work.
Right.
Wonderful work.
We've had, we're now the 50th most popular YouTube. We're getting thousands and thousands and thousands of hits that are studying all the stuff that I've been putting up there for years now. That's the Michelle Nye, like as in New Year's Eve, Michelle Nye channel. And it's got the Lucifer oil rig problem there. You can just put that in there and it'll show you how to fix it. It's easy to fix. The problem is getting the people in the positions of power to go along with it. And because they're all Satanists and they don't want to fix it.
That's right. That's the truth of it. They don't want to fix this. Bill, thank you for the call.
Thanks so very much. Bless you all.
Be nice to talk to you, Bill.
And before we take the next call, want to cover a little more territory. There's much more, Brian, that you have to share that we need to understand. And I'd like to go and talk about what is happening with Iran and Israel. But before we go there, I want to get back to this point because we need to understand this point. That Americans, it is our understanding that if we participate in war, that war needs to be declared. And that we look at this event in the Gulf of Mexico right now, that it was an accident. That this explosion at the BP site was an accident. And because it was an accident, there is no enemy. And if anybody like me were to say, well, this was done on purpose, this was done by design. Well, how many events, right? We look at the explosion, right? The explosion was just one event, just like in the boxing ring with Foreman and Ali, okay? It was just one blow to the jaw, the explosion.
That was it.
The other blow to the jaw is the oil now that they're on purpose with chemicals. They're keeping that oil on the bottom of the ocean, on the ocean floor, so that we don't see how bad it is. And the truth of the matter with the ocean floor, the ground on the ocean floor is rising like a balloon because of the natural gas, and it could blow at any moment. It's just getting worse, much more worse than we even understand.
I mentioned a plane went over it yesterday, and they could see that there was oil from the...
We'll be right back. Good morning. Our phone number is 1-800-313-9443, 1-800-313-9443, at my website, morningliberty.com. You will find more evidence on these very points. In fact, some of the news releases that Brian Marshall has given, I have there as well. You can take a look at the evidence, draw your own conclusions. And then last night, oh my word, it was so cool for me to see that Obama, before he became president, was telling some gatherings of people with the microphone, standing in front of everybody on camera, saying, yes, I was born in Kenya. And I have that at the site, morningliberty.com. Grab it, tell your friends, pass it around. I'm doing my best, and I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate Brian Marshall joining us this morning. There are insights that he has, things that he can share, that we can better understand what is going on. And I think that we do not understand. Americans don't get it yet. And I don't know if we are going to get it, because this press, the organizations that are in America that release the news, are not telling us that this is war. Therefore, we do not understand it as war. They are telling us that it is an accident by BP, so we have accepted it as an accident. And there are many other details, like the radioactive uranium has not been made public in these news organizations, or the thorium, or much of the toxicity and the lethal chemistry that is coming out of the Gulf area has not been. That information has been released to the public. And imagine all of the people now working the beaches, working to pick up the oil blobs down there. They have not been instructed how much in danger they are. So, yes, it is war that is being waged upon America, but we don't see it like that. We do not understand that war is being waged upon us. But war, these Illuminati people, these Satanists, they're not just waging war here in the Gulf, but they would love to see it, Brian, between Iran and Israel, and that's kind of blowing up, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And I just want to comment on the radioactivity that's coming out of the Gulf. How did it become radioactive? Did they drop something down there to make it radioactive? I'd be very, very cautious to think it's a natural phenomenon. So, if you look at the dates, the satanic dates is 19th and 20th of the month, and when you go back in time, you'll find that the Oklahoma bombing was on the same date, and then Waco was on the same date, and you go back in history, it's a satanic date all the way through. So that should be a very, very big red flag right there.
Hitler, his birthday is on the 20th of April, and you mentioned that.
Yes, that's right, and Muhammad.
Date?
Muhammad as well.
And then that's a part of how they operate, is they use these satanic holiday dates to perform these acts, and that it was not done by accident.
There's a rule of thumb that I've looked at, and that is they always slap Jesus in the face. Now, why? This date, the 23rd, two things are happening. Number one, there's 912 days.
You're talking about the 23rd of June, today. Go ahead.
The 23rd of June is another satanic date, and it's 912 days until time runs out for these demons, and that is the 21st of December 2012. And the reason is that the Earth is pulled by the sun at 43,200 miles per hour, and is going to cross the equatorial line of the Milky Way galaxy on that date at 12:20 London GMT time. Now, that is the date predicted by the Great Pyramid. Well, you'll never get the truth out of the Great Pyramid, by the way. I've worked it out and put it on the internet for years now, but you'll never see it on mainstream news media. And also, it's in the Mayan calendar. Now, I went down to the Yucatan and I studied the Mayan calendar in 1991. I spoke to the locals, and the locals told me that angels had done it. They were talking little natives here. It wasn't the archaeologists that saying that these were done by mathematicians that were busily cutting each other's hearts out. It was